All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. I can only hope that my mic situation is rectified. I don't know what's going on with it. I hope that this Blue Yeti has not ran its course or something has done went around my computer system or whatever. But I do apologize for the overload at times. I've made the necessary adjustments, at least I thought I did, even the first 3 or 4 times. But I'm here right now because I've had time to sit and think about the videos that I posted today. And they have me a cause for concern. I mean, a serious heightened sense of awareness. Because when I see these events and I see these things taking place, none of these things take place in the world by chance. They are all planned and they're all staged, including the response is even calculated. You know, there's a thing called problem, reaction, and solution. Up in New York, we have a lot of people that are experiencing a lot of misfortune in the New York and New Jersey on the East Coast area over there. And there are a lot of people who are doing whatever they can instead of trying to help their fellow neighbor. And that's the reason why I keep making these videos about and asking you, trying to stimulate thought. Can you trust your neighbor? They're using their misfortune as an opportunity to make gain. Can you imagine knowing that people need help and knowing that they would need something like matches or something to start a fire with, and they're charging them $10 for a book of matches, $50 for 1 gallon of gas, and then we sit up and have the audacity to complain about the government raising gas up to $4 a gallon. And we have situations like this where people are in need, dire need of, commodities and resources, and then we gouge them half to death simply because we can, because we have it. I tell you what, a bad spirit in nature that there is. And not only that, the word fiat means so be it or whatever would be, and it's a Latin word. And in that word, that means whenever situations go awry and things begin to change, people will barter and they will use whatever it takes necessary in order to trade, in order to get what they call goods or services. Now Tide detergent, which costs almost like $20 a thing, has become a barter commodity during this catastrophe that is up there. But I'm making all this video not only to show you human nature, but I had a radio interview the other night, and one of the questions was asking me is, do you think that the military, the United States military, will fire upon their own people? And, of course, my answer, of being a 10-year veteran, Pastor Dow was a 10-year veteran. I was a paratrooper in the Army, as well as air assault and a couple of other special skill identifiers, and we don't need to go into all that right now. But just to show you that I'm not some Johnny-come-lately, I was also a staff sergeant. And so I know what I'm talking about. And I would say to you, to the question, do you believe that the military will fire upon our own people? Absolutely, yes. We have nothing but history to look at. Just look at history and see how that the government treats its citizens. Look what they did with the World War II veterans who came back home when they owed them pay. What happened? Do you remember what happened? Do you remember? Do you remember? Look what happened during Katrina when they rolled out the National Guard and stuff, and look and see how the citizens were treated. I mean, were the citizens doing right? No, they wasn't doing right. No, I mean, people, if they're undisciplined, you're not going to expect too much out of people who are undisciplined, especially people who have an entitlement mentality. Now, there are people who are really, truly in need, and they will be grateful if someone could help them. And them are the people that you're going to have to discern which ones it is that you help. But we have so much envy going on in the world that we're living in today that people can't stand what they see successful in another because they in it for the, they wish they had it for themselves. And you watch and see the people who have the most passion and hatred and anger against people. When you really truly look at this thing really, really close, you'll find out that there's some jealousy and envy there in their heart, because the scriptures teach that jealousy is the rage of a man, and that type of man will not spare. And, you know, the best thing for you to do is start to remove yourself from people like that. But back to the military thing, absolutely. The military will fire upon the American citizens because they have been trained and not educated. Now, there will be a few of them that understand what's going on, and with them going on, understand what's going on, they'll understand that it's an unlawful commandment, and they will honor the Constitution. But 90% of the military, they don't know what the Constitution is. They raised their hand, they swore an oath, and they have no idea what they said or what they did. All they did was the same thing. You go to court, is there to raise conscience and awareness, not that it means anything. And that's just the way that people look at it, and it's just a sad reality. But it's disturbing what we saw earlier today when the Israelis turned around and fired a rocket upon a Hamas leader and killed him in the middle of Gaza. There's a lot of civilians around, so you see, there's no honor, no honor whatsoever at all. And the Hamas has vowed that Israel's going to have hell to pay. Now, they have weapons that are not conventional by any stretch of means of imagination, and Israel can literally pulverize them. But make no mistake about it, that the Hamas has allies, and the world sees clearly what's going on. It's the Europeans against the real Semitic people over there in those lands. They see that clearly. And they see that whereas you and I think that this is some type of a thing because they call it terrorism and stuff, they see it for what it really truly is. It's a war of resources. It's a war of resources, a war of commodities, and oil. The petrodollar is one of the main things, and also gold. And the Europeans, that includes America, they don't like anybody dissenting from the system that they have put up on this earth for everybody to function in. And that's the real issues. That's what's really truly going on here. And so they alleviate themselves from judgment by calling themselves righteous. And you have to understand, these people don't have a conscience. It's nothing for them to take a drone or a missile into the middle of a city to kill one man. They could care less if they injure and kill 20 or 30 children from the ages of 5 to 10 years old who are totally innocent, haven't done anything except they were born in this world. They have no conscience whatsoever at all, and they'll keep on doing it. And you're going to watch the Americans tuck tail and run from this Afghan war because Alexander the Greek couldn't defeat them. The British couldn't defeat them at the turn of the 19th century. And America surely ain't going to defeat them. And we have spent billions, in excess of $600 billion just on the war front in Afghanistan alone. Now think about this. What's going on in Afghanistan? Why, drugs, the poppy plague. What's going on in Iraq? Why, oil. What was going on with Omar Gaddafi? Why, gold. He was getting off the dollar and going to a gold standard. But these real issues, you can't expect the news media to speak to you about them. They're not going to. It's not in their benefit, nor does it profit them to keep you informed. And you have to wake up. You really truly have to wake up, because if you don't wake up, when the next catastrophe or disaster comes your way, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it comes your way, you won't be prepared. So the idea of people like me and my voice, Pastor Joe Fox, New to Torah, and many other brethren that are out there, J Snip 4, we're there to a New America Now. We're there to wake you up, to put your mind to the grindstone, and to get you to think, and hopefully it is a hope that you'll become proactive and you will start taking action to preserve you, your dinner table, your family, your household. I hope that you had ears to hear with this rambling right here, and I hope I made sense. You really need to start thinking about spirituality. You really, truly do. You need to start thinking about the things that I say and consider what I say, especially since we all carry the same Bible, and yet you have all these 30,000 different opinions. Somebody's opinion is right, and that's the truth. And that's the truth straightway. Be encouraged.